Yo, what is going on, everybody? Hello, hello, hello. It is Tuesday, September 5th. And hang on, I'm still getting my stuff ready here, but I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's having a good month so far. I kind of want to just go through some of the charts today. Take a little bit of a longer look out at what we can expect potentially, because there's some interesting things going on around the crypto space. I don't know if you guys just saw, but Visa is not partnering, but they're going to be allowing stablecoin settlements for the Solana blockchain. So everybody who thought that Solana was dead, and I might have been one of them, right? But everybody who thought that Solana was dead, that was definitely not the case right now. So I was just trying to see if I could find a little bit more info. Here we go. Visa. So it says, we are excited to announce that Visa has expanded our stablecoin settlement capabilities to merchant acquirers, launching pilots with WorldPay Global and Nuvei, utilizing the Solana blockchain. That's pretty cool. So yeah, the only thing that I had played on Solana was STEPN, and I haven't even actually jumped into that in a while. So I'm not really sure what's going on with STEPN right now. But if you guys remember, I mean, Solana was huge for NFTs. There were a lot of gaming projects that were popping up there. But ultimately, yeah, we'll see where it goes. So exciting news for a relatively quiet September. I mean, I'm still waiting for the other shoe to drop on Bitcoin. Let's see who we got here in the house. Mystic Force, what is going on? Alex Bernard, what is going on? GLX is dead. Okay, why is GLX dead? Did something happen? Let's go see the price. I mean, I got to give a shout out to Icyflow, because a long time ago, he made a prediction that GLX would drop from 30 cents down to 0.003. And I don't know, I wish I could find the clip easily somewhere, because I was just like, you seriously think that, it had already dropped from 30 cents to 3 cents. And then he made the prediction it was going to go down to 0.003. And I was like, you seriously think this thing is going to go down 99% from its, relatively, all-time high? Again, it's been around for just a short time. And here we are, 0.003. So shout out to you, Icyflow. Shout out to you. Let's see. Everything is dead, says Mystic Force. I don't know about that. I mean, every game is not doing great. Let's actually go take a look at some of the games. That's kind of what I wanted to do here on today's live stream. So let's look up gaming, GameFi. So this is what I'm talking about, guys. See, look at all these like top projects. I actually don't even know what's going on with Sandbox right now. Axie is still, what is this, top 5, I would say. I mean, it's still one of the top games regardless. Market cap's over $500 million. ApeCoin is interesting. Gala dropped 16% on the week with all that news. I don't know if you guys saw the news about Gala, but the founders are suing each other. So I don't know. That could be interesting. Illuvium. I want to start getting into Illuvium now. I think this will be a good entry point as we get along further into this hopefully end of bear pre-bull market era. STEPN. This is the one I was talking about on the Solana blockchain. So 15 cents. Interesting. But I don't really know what's going on with that. All right, so here's Echelon Prime though. So look at this. Brand new game. It just popped on. This is for Parallel. Anybody who's paying attention to Parallel. I mean, this thing is already at a $75 million market cap. So new and shiny, guys. New and shiny. If you're really looking to make it in the next bull run, I just think that there's no doubt going to be some new and shiny games. I'm not saying that Axie and Gala, Illuvium, they won't all like make considerable returns. I think if the entire space goes up, it'll be good. But it's going to be these new coins, right? Like Echelon Prime coming in. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that's relatively new, but nothing else has crossed my radar yet on Twitter. I'm not trying to be more active on Twitter because there's a lot of alpha there that I just wasn't paying attention to. Battle World, NFT Wars, D-Race. This is one from last time. Where's Splinterlands? Is SPS not even on here? Oh, there it is. I just literally landed on it. All right, so we know that the market cap is a little bit higher than $8 million, but geez, that's just oof. Okay. Satoshi token on Solana. Oh man, this thing has dropped dramatically. All right, let's see. So nobody playing it. Looks at 24-hour card sales. I mean, there's nothing to play, Alex. It's a beta. I mean, we all spent about 5 minutes on it, but everybody's waiting for the actual game and rewards. I mean, let's be honest here, right? Like, if you're gonna play a game and not earn money, the game's got to be like super fun. So until the rewards come out for it, I don't think we're gonna see many people playing. You might see people try it, but I don't know what the time frame is. I think, well, the roadmap for the GLX or the GLG game, Genesis League Goals, the roadmap said Q4. So that's next month at the earliest. Good morning. Buy low, sell lower. Isn't that the same as buy high, sell lower? What's going on, Aaron Kennedy? Good to see you here, man. Long time. So imagine Aggie and Matt suing each other. Man, if that ever came out, that would be brutal for the ecosystem. The Great Dump. I thought we would see pumps in September. Nah, man. September is a very bad month for Bitcoin. Generally, Q4 tends to be much better. But if you go back and look at the historical returns for Bitcoin in September, it's always quite terrible. Hence the title, Wake Me Up When September Ends. But here's the thing. We haven't seen a dip in Bitcoin yet. Not a significant dip, in my opinion. I mean, we're still hanging around 25, 26K. I wouldn't be surprised if we nuke down to the lower 20s. Although, you know what? Whenever people like make predictions or whatever, it's all just like whatever people are expecting something. Oh, well, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we did just get there. We were up to 27. No, but you know what this was? This was the pump for the Bitcoin ETF news. Sorry, not Bitcoin ETF, but the Grayscale news about trying to convert their token to a Bitcoin ETF. So, but you can see just how quickly this was erased from the market. So I hope, all of you traders out there sold at the top of that. But September started right here. So if we look at like the last 7 days, September started right here. So we haven't seen anything significant. This dump happened before September started. But even still, we may just range and be choppy. Maybe we just drop down to 24, 23, nothing too crazy. No. Throwback song. Indeed. When will we see a Green Day in September? Oh, well played, Gathering the Magic. I see what you did there as well. I don't know, man. I hope so. So the Bitcoin ETF decisions, I think majority of them were pushed back like 45 days, and that was towards like the end of August, or maybe it was early September already. So we're looking at like mid-October now, I think, at the earliest, for any of these ETFs to be applications to be accepted. But I don't know. I think the SEC will continue to push that off as long as they can. So, all right. hold on. I do want to see. We're going to do some blockchain perusing today. Categories. I wish we could see like games in a specific blockchain. Because I just want to know like what's up there right now. Yeah, see, I can't filter this out by Solana. You know who's been really quiet though? Polygon. Oh, see, where's the Polygon or where's the Solana ecosystem? I guess they got rid of it. Hold on. I'm getting well, all this stuff is just essentially just wrapped or bridged over. All right, let's go back to gaming. All right, somebody on here. Oh my. Somebody on here keeps telling me about My Pet Hooligan, and I feel like I saw it recently. I don't know if they're here now, but popped up on my radar recently, and I thought of them. What's up, BB Omega? Long time, man. How are you? Actually, it hasn't been that long. We chatted it just a couple weeks ago. Okay, so what is Floki? Sweatcoin, the sweat economy. This is probably something similar to what's that called? STEPN, right? Related coins you might like. Dude, all these are gonna freaking fail. Look at it right there. That's some people got rich right there. Everybody else though is bag holder. Guild of Guardians, League Kingdoms. Yeah, I don't know, man. I haven't heard anything about any of these games. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Look at DeFi Kingdoms down low. Oh, damn, is Splinterlands bigger? You know why DeFi Kingdoms fail, though? It's because the Harmony 1 blockchain is essentially dead, I think, at this point. I think they had to change blockchains, which begs the question for all the Splinterlands folks here. What happens if something happens to Hive? Where would you want to see things moved over to if the team tries to save the game? Monkey League, Chain Games. Oh man, I remember this one. I made some money off of this one. I don't even know what it does, but it's crazy to still see it here. Yeah. Was it back? It was in 2021. Got to ride that wave. That was fun. But then you know what I did with it? I took those profits and I bought SPS when SPS was still like above 20 cents. Good times. Good times. BB Mega says, waiting for this new Around Pretoria show with not so much excitement. Yeah, they're not going to be talking about. Weirdbeard specifically said there's not going to be anything like announcement related or stuff like that. So I figure I'll catch the replay at some point later. This is my only time to stream, so I figured I'd hop in now, say hello to you guys, and then, like I said, I was really intrigued by the Solana news earlier this morning, because a lot of these like Solana based games, or a lot of games I should say, might realize that Solana is not yet dead. All right, I know this is like the bane of Darkest Night's existence, but I do want to see where Illuvium is at. Supreme Victory Network, what's going on? Hello. Aaron says, we don't need any more excitement. Excitement just brings... Aaron, it's funny you mentioned that because it was a couple weeks ago where I just said or I think I titled the stream as such. I'm just I'm all hyped out, man. I'm just hyped out. I just want cool stuff to do, and yeah, hopefully we'll get it soon. I wonder if we'll get any kind of update from Farpatrod because he's back from vacation, I believe, but I actually haven't even been on the Splinterlands Discord, so I don't know what's going on there. Let me check real quick. Let me check if Farpatrod is dropping some teasers and hints. Oh, hold on. I posted that video about Rooney yesterday. Sorry, guys, I'm going to take a left turn here. OpenSea. Posted the video about Rooney yesterday, and one of the comments was asking how many unique holders. So I just want to check and see if we can. Now, why does OpenSea look so different right now? Oh, okay. Here we go. 3521 total in existence. Dude, what is wrong with you? Come on. Work Chief Farpatrod. From Farpatrod. Last time he posted in here was 9/3. So that was on Sunday. So no new alpha or hints from Farpatrod. Where do you see unique holders? Oh, unique owners, 1310. And I wonder, it's got to be possible that there's some people with multiple wallets there. So I would say that there's probably about 1,000 people or so that own Rooney. But even still, I think a Rooney leaderboard would be phenomenal. Just make it so that we can compare, compete, and people will be throwing their Rooney into battle as much as possible. There doesn't even need to be a reward for it. Just make it so that I know if my Rooney has more wins than Darkest Knight's Rooney. That's all I want to know. It's the competitive nature of it. All right, so now we know. Anywhere between 1,000 and 1,300. We were looking at Illuvium, but hold on, I just want to check the chart for Illuvium real quick. Because I don't know when the beta pops in for this, but I would love to see how the gameplay is once there's a full open beta. Let's see, what's this? Available now. Join the world. Get your beta code now. All right, I guess I would need to do that. Illuvium Arena, Illuvium Overworld, Illuvium Zero, Illuvium Beyond. There's 4 different games already? Is anyone here an Illuvium expert? Registrations over alpha available. Oh, this is great. Look at this. They have all the information here. So this one, Illuvium Overworld, is registrations open for beta. Alpha available for landholders is Illuvium Zero. Illuvium Arena, registration open for beta. And this one, Illuvium Beyond, is out now. Compete to collect and craft the most powerful Illuvitars. Collectible, customizable art pieces based on our in-game. Oh, I remember this. Foyer was talking about this a while ago. This is just like their PFP project, I think. Similar to like a Rooney. All right, now let's give that a second to load. Oh, my computer's frozen, I think. Or at least that tab is. So I'll come back here. Aaron says, been my mentality from the beginning. It will come when it comes. When you tell people dates or estimates and it's not met, it only hurts. Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you. You know, the tough part is that it's a double-edged sword though, right? So I was just talking to Darkest Night about this because he's of the same mindset, right? Like I think he's even said it here multiple times where he thinks that the town halls are a terrible idea for the team to do, that they shouldn't be doing, they shouldn't be interfacing with the community as much and giving these dates and giving these teasers, because it just creates this unnecessary hype FOMO and then ultimately frustration, to your point. But I'll tell you this, same thing I told him. I said if the team had not been doing weekly town halls, I wouldn't have stuck with the game. That's just the truth, right? Like, so there is a value of interfacing with the community because no other project really does it in this way. So I don't know what the perfect kind of approach is, because if they were to stop doing town halls, what would we talk about? What would we talk about? It, like, literally, if they hadn't done any town halls this entire year, right, we would just be getting on every live stream and talking about nothing. So as a content creator, it's weird because I don't want, it's not that I want like the channel just to be full of fluff. I come here because I like talking with you guys, right? But if we were to not have anything to go on, right, then I don't know what we'd be talking about. Because here's the thing, right? Like, I do follow actually a couple of different projects, but I don't talk about them here as much because there's not as many updates. So for better or for worse, the town halls are providing some kind of interest to keep the community engaged. I personally don't want to see the town halls go. I was sad when they got away from, doing them weekly. I understand why bi-weekly makes more sense, but it's like the tough part is they switched it to bi-weekly to line up with their release schedule when they didn't have any releases coming out. Like, bi-weekly would have made more sense like earlier in the year when they were having like, every other week would be some kind of major release. But then we hit the land plateau, and so it's just like, okay, now less communication and less releases, and I think people just gotten frustrated there. What's the stream around Pretoria that's going on live in a few? I believe they said it's like the old town halls. Aggie's just going to have people from the team or partners come around and talk about what they're doing for the game. Yeah, trying to keep the game afloat via FOMO is very treacherous. Oh, that's a serious word there, guys. Biggest fan of the town halls is knowing the team and giving trust to the community. I agree with your sentiment on that, but it's just tough to keep giving and missing dates. Well, Weirdbeard was trying to change that, or still is trying to change that. So I respect the fact of what he's trying to do, but the problem is that we went from, a bunch of dates being thrown out and a bunch of teasers being given to then all of a sudden like the meme became like soon. So now like everybody was frustrated with the missed dates. Then there was no dates given and it was just soon. And now people are just like, oh, now we don't know. Now we don't know what to believe. Like the apathy in the comment section here, the apathy across pretty much all my comments, or even just like on Twitter and Reddit. Like, it's just that's where my fear lies in now. So it's like, as Aggie puts it, they got to get this baby out, because the longer it takes, I think the longer it takes, it's just, people are going to be more and more disillusioned. But Farpatron's working hard. He caught a ton of fish. Did you guys see how many fish he caught? That picture he posted was impressive. I think halibut. So hopefully he's rested and recharged and ready to go. All right, well, what I want to see is how much does it cost for land? Oh, this is cool. Oh, you can zoom in. How far? No, that's about it. Interesting. Cheapest land in Illuvium. It's going to run you a couple $100. I don't know what the benefits are. I don't know what it does. But it does give you free access to, or not free, but access to where is it at? Oh, I'm on Illuvidex now. I don't want that. I want Illuvium Zero. Build, upgrade, and manage your digital industrial complex. Extract resources, find biodata, and create blueprints in Illuvium Zero, our city builder game for mobile and desktop. That's cool. So they're going to have a bunch of different games on here. This looks like a SimCity type of deal. And then I think Illuvium Overworld is their Pokemon style thing. Yeah, this is, I mean, again, I own 0 Illuvium tokens, 0 Illuvium assets, but it's funny because like I'm not against any game, right? Like we just need one of these games to succeed, and then the entire market takes off, right? So it's like part of what I'm trying to do now is look around and just be like, who's the furthest along, right? Who's going to be able to release something and be the Axie of 2023 or early 2024 that gets the maybe not the larger bull run going, but gets people to start paying attention to games. Now, promotional NFTs, governance. Oh, they do proposals too. There's a lot of games out there that actually have a good level of governance. It surprised me because I thought Splinterlands was farther ahead, and Splinterlands probably is further ahead in many ways, but a lot of these guys are taking a page out of the book, I think. All right, hold on. Oh, I closed OpenSea already. Let me come back here. All right, so Aaron says, I don't think the town hall should go too. I think when land is out, they need to stop the big updates until they jam a bunch of small stuff out that the community will put down there. Yeah, I've frequently said this as well, Aaron. I agree with you 100%. Q1 of 2023 was like the last time that I was like super excited. We were getting stuff every week, every other week. The town halls were really fun. We were getting alpha drips here and there for land 1.5, tower defense at the time. So I miss that. I miss that because Q2 and now essentially Q3, the last 5, almost 6 months have been very much like we're focusing on land, and like that's all we're doing. And as much as I love Nate and eye candy, it's just like, you know how like how when you eat candy, you're like, oh, it's sweet, but I'm not satisfied. I want real food. That's exactly what eye candy is. It's sweet. It's like, cool, yeah, okay. Well, I'm not, it's not Halloween. I'm not gonna fill up on like shit ton of candy here and then feel great about it. So I want some real food. I want to sink my teeth into land. I want to load up my DEC and all the monsters that I've been saving literally for the last 6 months, right? Since March or even like February of this year, people were starting to get ready for land 1.5. And so now I'm just ready. I got my utensils ready. I just want to eat. Release a couple small quality of life improvements. Each patch would help. Well, they do that, but I would like to see more in-game stuff, right? So like because Investigator, they're really good about going and finding like bugs in the code and just patching up small things. But in addition to that, I think what made Q1 really exciting was the what's that called? New rule sets, just a different new rule sets is probably the biggest one. We also had a lot more airdrops at the time. Speaking of which, we're going to get the airdrop for CREC very soon over the next couple of days. KQ Forever, are you going to hop over to around Pretoria? I don't think there's a way for me to watch it here. Plus, it'd be weird for me to watch it live. So, no, this is the only time I had to stream today, and I wanted to make sure that I came in and said hey, because my stream schedule's just been all over the place lately. So I'm just going to catch around Pretoria a little bit later. So if you guys all want to go, I mean, I'm not trying to keep you guys here. If you guys want to go all over there, feel free to go check it out. I just want to come and hang out for a bit, and then I'll be able to catch up with you around Pretoria later today. I just want my tower defense to pass the time between updates. Dice 12. You know, I said I'm not going to talk about tower defense, so I won't. But I agree with you. I agree with you. That I was looking forward more to tower defense than I was land, if I'm being honest. I have my tower defense packs, and as much as like I enjoy getting SPS from them, that's not what I wanted them to do. I really thought that tower defense, like land to me, was never going to bring in new players in the way that like land is feeding the current players, right? We all have land. It's going to be super complex, complicated, but we love that because we're already in the game and we know how this whole ecosystem works. But tower defense, like I'm not saying this to be like funny. Like, you know, my mom obviously knows that like I'm into crypto and I'm doing all these things, and she always asks like, oh, well, how's that card game? Blah blah blah, right? I look at tower defense as a way to be like, all right, mom, I'm going to get you to stop playing Candy Crush. I'm going to buy you a couple of towers, and you know, if she likes the game, right? But it's just like, I'm going to buy you a couple of towers and then, you know, load up the game on your phone. And if you like playing it, well, then you can earn a little something here and there. Now, tower defense might not be her jam, right? But I do think that tower defense can be the gateway drug for a lot of people to get into the Splinterlands ecosystem, just because if it's easy to play, easy to learn, right? Because tower defense just naturally has that kind of it just naturally has a more intuitive kind of interface than a card game with all the different strategies and meta. That's what I was excited for with tower defense. Now, I would still love to see like a Candy Crush of Splinterlands, or a Flappy Bird of Splinterlands, but I don't know. I don't know what I need to do to convince Virus to release it to the world, because he made it already. Click on the land, see what happens. Sorry, I closed out already. Yeah, tower defense would calm a bunch of people down too. I really want a new game that wasn't supposed to take up any resources. Yeah, yep. We are being outpaced fast. That's the bigger concern. A lot of these things we thought we were ahead on versus competition due to delays with the game. That is only for whales. We are losing traction. You know, so that was a fear of mine too, Aaron, and that's kind of why I'm trying to make sure that I go around, like, instead of just saying that, I just want to make sure that I go around and see how other games are actually faring. You know, in terms of how they're moving along with their own roadmaps. But we haven't, like, there's still no killer app launched yet. I think the moment, well, it's going to be one of those, like, you don't know it's coming, and then when it's here, it's too late, right? So the moment we get some kind of like killer app launched, to me, that will signal hopefully something good for the rest of the market. But then it's going to be, there's two ways to look at it. And I'm trying to sugarcoat this, right? So it's not just terrible doom and gloom. There's two ways to look at it. Okay, so yes, land is not out yet. Tower defense is not out yet. Let's say Axie Infinity goes to the moon again tomorrow, right? And all of a sudden people are coming back in waves, and they just want to figure out how, you know, what's going to be the next game to really take off. Okay, you come to Splinterlands. What do you find? Okay, you find a game that's been around for several years. They have some high profile partnerships with, you know, Warner. We don't really know what happened there, but with, you know, MLSPA, they're working on a game, and Tower Defense, they were working with another gaming studio, right? So it's a real company that's been around, has some stake in the game, to put it. What do you see though? Well, on one side, you could look at all the frustration that people are throwing around, like, oh, delays. Land was supposed to be out in 2021. It's not. You know, Land 2.0, which is what the original design for Land, I think, was supposed to be, is now, you know, pushed to 2024. And you get a lot of people that are disillusioned with that, right? And they come in and they say, oh, okay, well, this team, you know, is not going to deliver on time. The other flip side, which I think is very much as possible, I just don't know what the percentage split would be, a lot of people would come in and be like, oh, shoot, I'm early, right? They were supposed to release it, but it's not out yet. So if I buy these assets now, if I come into the game and I buy all this land on the cheap, right, from all these frustrated players, if I buy SPS on the cheap from all these frustrated players, right, then at some point when this stuff comes out, I'll make a ton of money, right? When land finally does come out. So I don't know which way the wind blows on that. I don't think it's to either extreme necessarily, but there's a split there that I don't know how to quite define. Honestly, I don't care about eye candy until I get to play with it. I mean, the eye candy's good. Nate and creative team are working hard. My opinion, obviously. Love hearing. What's up, Plato? Good to see you, man. I just try to keep it real, but I appreciate you being here. All right, TD is a new game. Land is like the end of game version that isn't for new players. Yes, land is going to be so complex and complicated. Like as it is for new players coming in, not only do you have to learn the meta of the cards, and you have to learn all the different what's that called? The meta of the cards, the like leveling up the game mechanics. Sorry, so the game mechanics, the game meta, all of that. You also need to go in and then on top of that, like figure out how this whole land thing works. So I've said this, and maybe I'll make a video on it at some point if I can gather my thoughts or organize them properly. But I really, really do hope that land can be on its own in many ways. And what I mean by that is if land is only going to be like a supplemental thing to the card game, I do think you're going to disillusion new players even further. And what I mean by that is, okay, you come into the game and you got to buy a bunch of cards, a bunch of, summoners and units, and figure out how they all work together. Well, now on top of that, you're also going to need items and spells, and you could go create items and spells if you had land, but then you need to learn the whole meta for land, right? So just from a game mechanic perspective, you'll need to either go out and buy more, right? Meaning you need to have land, or you need to spend more in terms of like either renting the items and spell NFTs out if they become such a crucial part of the game, the strategy, the meta. So there's one interlink, and the thing is, it's meant to be that way, right? So I'm not trying to say I don't want a connection. The other connections now, and these are the ones that I think are a little bit more insidious. And and don't get me wrong, I am excited for them because I'm all in on the ecosystem, right? I have land, and I have I have land, and I have what's that called? And I have cards. But the benefits for holding things in land. So for example, if you own 5 or more plots, you get a what's that called? You get a benefit on your RP, right? Your reward shares. With the Vonarch title and I think they're the overseer titles for all the different territories, you get benefits on your reward shares, right? So that kind of stuff where it's just like, okay, well now, how far behind do new players fall if they come in and not only have to buy the cards, not only have to buy the SPS, but now need to own a bunch of land, either to get the resources or to get the reward share bonuses in game? Because you come into the game and you only have X amount to spend, then all of a sudden it's like, well, I'm spending the same amount on my deck as somebody else, right? However much it is, whatever league you play in. But every time I win a game, I spend the same amount on my deck and on my SPS, right? So I own the same amount. But every time I win a game, I'm not getting the Sentinel bonus, or not Sentinel, but that's for castles. But the whatever the bonuses are for land, right? Every time, like that's where I feel like it just becomes further pay to win, which isn't a terrible thing, right? So I don't want to say that I'm against it completely, but I do think we just need to create a space for newer players to be casual. That's part of I think, at least for me, one of the toughest things with this game is that there's no space for casual players. And I'm not necessarily convinced that there needs to be, right, that the game will fail if we don't have a space for casual players. But I do think having a space for casual players will definitely help the game. So, however that that plays out. And the team's working on new player experience, and I'm excited to see what they're able to come up with. But having a place for casual play is something important for the future, in my opinion. Aaron says, probably would have been better if they just refunded everybody the money back for plots and buried it a long time ago and deal with a couple upset people back then. Probably less damage. Yeah, I don't think they could refund everybody. That's a lot of money that they spent and probably paid the developers already. Yo, Level Up Life. How's it going, man? Always good to see you. Always appreciate your opinions and commentary, man, chat. Jabi Santos, what is going on? Gregory Levenfield, hello, good to see you. So Plato says, we're so used to quick updates because that's what we got before. Now the updates are slower. It feels long and too stagnant. Land is fine. It's huge. Just sucks. We don't have it yet. Yeah, again, like I know I'm not saying this to be difficult, but I'm as excited as I am for Land 1.5. I'm not a large landholder, so I don't really care in the grand scheme of things. I mean, yes, do I want it here yesterday? I absolutely do. But to Darkest Night's point, and I know he's just being, obnoxious, not obnoxious, but he's just being funny sometimes. When he says Land 2024, if they push Land 1.5, if they just came out and said, look, we're going to take it easy on Land 1.5. We're going to make sure that every single bug is worked out. All right, we're going to do everything that we need to do, QA, all that. But we're going to spend the next 4 months, and we're just telling you right now, it's not coming out until 2024. I'd be fine with it, right? I'd be fine with it in the sense that they would also have to say, Farpetrot is going to continue working on it, and that dude's an absolute beast. But we're going to take Cryptomancer and get him to start working on other things. We're going to take, all the other devs, and they're going to go back to what they were doing in terms of giving us all this fun, little updates here and there. I'd be totally cool with it. I'd be like, yo, Land 2030 at this point, right? It doesn't even matter as long as we get fun stuff and we know that Land is being worked on in the background. So that's kind of where my head is at too. But the good thing, and I think that once Land 1.5 is out, is they are going to go hopefully back to that model, right? Land, or what's that going to be? Land 1.6. I don't know when that's going to come out, but I hope they don't go all in on Land 1.6. Weirdbeard's had a ton of great ideas and game modes, and he's interfaced with the community. He knows what we want. I mean, even just skins and cosmetics, stuff like that would be easy ways for the company to earn. I don't know how many people would buy skins here, but Darkest Night's been asking for them for the longest time. So I know that there is an appetite. How much revenue does that create versus the time spent for the team? I don't know. They're going to have to run those numbers, but there is an appetite there for it. My veins bleed salt. Need that transfusion of FOMO and updates of Glorious to cure me. Glorious Land. We'll get it soon, man. We'll get it soon. I know I sound like the team now. I guess I am the team. So we're gonna get it soon. I honestly don't care about 1.5. 2.0 is where the game gets cool with the items and spells. I agree, but what's that called? 2.0 still won't allow us to get. It still won't allow us to get the items and spells in game. I think it's just going to be resources. If you look at actually, we're talking about it, so might as well. Land 1.5, Splendor Lands. If you go to the timeline that they have, and I'm sorry, there's no dark mode for this. Versions and timeline. Okay, so this is expected in Q3, right? 1.5. 2.0 is full buildings and resource production. That's next year, Q1 next year. Q3 next year, so a full year from now, that's when you can begin crafting items and spells, but you can't use them in battles until 2025. So we're still a long way from that. And Plato, I mean, I'm as excited for it as you are. I think it's going to change the nature of the game. Will hopefully help with the botting and battle helpers and all that. But yeah, I don't know. It feels like we're at least 18-ish months away from that, if they hit those timelines. After Sound, please sell me grain once 1.5 is live. I'm going to try and sell as much as I can. I'm going to sell pretty much everything extra, right? And I'll give you a better deal than whatever's in the I'll give you a better deal than whatever's in the store. That's for sure. Battle Pass will relieve the company so much and would be an overall benefit. I love the Battle Pass idea. When Weirdbeard pitched it, I was just like, yes, we need this, because every season is the same exact thing. It's just show up, do your battles every day, do your battles every day, climb as high on the rankings as you can, and then do it all over again. I would love for something to mix it up every 2 weeks, every 4 weeks, whatever it is, however the battle pass ends up working out. That would be much I don't know, it would make it more interesting, at least when I log in. And it would make the losing, especially at the beginning of the season, just a little bit more palatable, because I'm like, all right, well, I'm chasing my own goals. I'm not just trying to rank up as high as I can and earn rewards. I want to get all this cool stuff. I actually, this is going to be unpopular, especially for the Web3 maxis out there, who I have the utmost respect for. But I actually think seeing more Soulbound stuff is totally okay. I wouldn't mind that. I mean, the Soulbound cards, rewards are cool, but just like little like leaderboards, trophy room, all that stuff in game, where it's not going to get you any value. But when when Darkest Night calls me and I'm just like, yo, again, going back to like the Rooney thing, my Rooney's got its 500th win. I saw that yours is only at 450. Like, that's going to push him, right? That's going to push him to go in and play more games and throw his Rooney on. Right. And maybe you could do that with all cards, right? Maybe you find a way to do that with all promo cards, not just Rooney, but with Lux, with what are some of the other ones out there? Oh, Dr. Blight. Oh man, that would be phenomenal. Yeah. So Rooney, Rooney needs to be the first one, just because I think that would have a lot more appeal, especially to all the ETH goers out there who are into the PFP, game. Because NFTs in general seem to be in the gutter right now. So I'm like, this is the perfect opportunity to me. And this is my prediction for the next bull run. I'm expecting all of these NFT projects, profile picture projects, what they're going to either not be able to accomplish or struggle to find ways to accomplish is giving utility to their assets, right? Their NFTs. Rooney already has that. It already has that. And I don't know what we need to do to like shout it from the mountaintops. Now, granted, what we should be trying to do is blast up Rooney's value so much that it becomes one of the top tier items in the space. But, and actually, you know what? Hold on. I don't spend enough time on OpenSea to know where all this stuff is, but hopefully you guys can help me out. Like a lot of, there's very few profile picture projects out there. And I'm not talking about like the major ones like, Bored Apes and all that, but even those have come down significantly, right? So there's very few out there that have that kind of utility outside of just being part of a community, but also being, having some value in game. So how do we see? Okay, top by floor price. So you got your Bored Apes, 26.8, Mutant Apes. Why did I think there'd be? Okay. Oh, last 24 hours, 7 day. Let's see if we can view all. Wait, hold on. Did I just see what I think I saw? Oh, wait, no. I don't want hold on. Not volume, but floor price. All right. So, this is weird, but you got Bored Ape Yacht Club. There's a lot of these just like one-offs that are really throwing this off here. I wish I could filter them out. Oh, gaming. They have categories for gaming now? Oh, shoot. Look at that. Parallels at the top. Bunch of sales. 0.11 prime. All right. I do want to come back to parallel just because I'm getting more and more into that. But let's go back to all categories. Okay, I guess there's no easy way to check this. Okay, obviously you're gonna have Bored Apes near the top, 28 ETH. Jeez, that's crazy. But let's see here. The top, they don't even reorder it. Because volume, like I actually don't care as much about volume, right? I would say the best NFT projects out there are going to have much lower volume because people aren't selling. They want it and they're not looking to trade. I mean, if you're looking to make money, yeah, then you want to check the ones that have high volume. But overall, I really think that over time we want to get to, nobody selling their Rooney and the floor price just shooting up and up and up. All right, so where are we at right now? We're at, okay, actually I'm at the bottom of this. So the 852nd from a volume perspective has 1.79. Wait, is Rooney on this list? Oh, no, it's not. 1.79 ETH. So, okay, fine. Let's go to volume. All right, so you got Bored Ape, you got Mutant Ape, DeGods. But check the floor prices on all these. All right, so your highest volume ones, your more popular ones, because I've actually heard of a bunch of these, right? So Pudgy Penguins, CryptoPunks. I mean, these are all like 5 ETH or sub 5 ETH. And I know, here's the thing. I know it's crazy to think about Rooney getting up to that level, but I think it's important that we find ways to get Rooney over 1 ETH, 2 ETH, 3 ETH, right? Like Rooney should be that damn valuable in the game and on OpenSea. Because then all of a sudden people come in and they take a look and they're like, okay, I can get, one of these like weird looking cards. But they can also take it in game and play it there. All right, so what's going on now? Done okay. Steady stream of income would take a lot of pressure off the company too. Yeah, agreed. How's your weekend? We never ask about you. Any new songs you're working on? I haven't been able to work on anything music-wise in a little bit, Aaron, but thank you for asking how I'm doing. I appreciate you. All right. Does research matter for Area 51 or just at the territory level? So far, I think it's just at the territory level, BC, but I would love to actually have research come down to the regional and maybe even like tract level at some point. I think that would make things interesting. Leandro, it's a new show that they're doing. It's called Around Pretoria, so it's similar to the town hall. That's awesome. She's awesome, man. She's awesome. I'll just put it that way. I got to meet her at Splinterfest, and she does a lot of great things for Splinterlands. I'll just say that. Aggie hitting the fields right now on Town Hall. Good. Then I think he's accomplishing what he's trying to accomplish. Can't wait to watch it. All right, so are we done with land 1.5? I hate having like a billion tabs open, so I'm going to try and declutter a little bit. Yeah, I think we talked about what we want to talk about there. We can close OpenSea now. Let's just go check where we're at here. Ooh, DEC, the drop continues. Oh no, never mind. We're back up a little bit. So we've burned 12.5% of Rift Watchers. Actually, if you include what's in the DAO, closer to 15%. And and we're going to unlock CREC in 2 days. Oh, getting a call now. Oh, hang on. Oh, wow. We've been on for like an hour already. Time flies. Time flies. Let's see if I can stick around for a couple more minutes or if I got to run. All right, maybe a couple more minutes. All right, so I forgot what we were talking about. We were looking at a bunch of other things. Flaviano, what's going on? Dude, you keep kicking my butt in the game, man. I just can't seem to beat you. I really wish we had a head-to-head like record holder. I mean, not that I would want to see that, but it would motivate me every time. Every time I play, I'd be like, all right, I got to start catching up. Players asking, what content have you been consuming recently? A lot of it's usually always like Bitcoin related content. If you guys are familiar with Lynn Alden, she put out a book recently, Broken Money. So Bitcoin and macro related stuff. So yeah, but I'm trying to get around a little bit more in terms of Web3 gaming. So on Twitter, I've tried to be more active and follow or just like pay attention to a lot more of the influencers. I don't know if you guys saw, actually, this is important. I thought about making a video for it. It's just, I'm not like, it's not my forte. I just thought it was interesting. But the whole creator league with Mr. Beast and then a bunch of like Web3 content creators, I think, well, mostly Web3 content creators. That was a huge opportunity. I don't know if anybody else is following that, but it was a huge opportunity to at least expose people, through the Mr. Beast brand in terms of getting, just eyeballs on the crypto and the value of NFTs and all that. But to see the visceral reaction on how some of the influencers who were not who were not Web3, but were Web 2, when they found out at a later point, like one guy dropped out and then it just created this whole like cascading effect of people looking at this. It just makes me realize that there's not an appetite. Like Web 2 gamers hate NFTs for some reason. So for people thinking that it's just going to happen, boom, like that, I really don't think so. I think it's going to be a slow, drawn out process. And at the end of the day, the game is just going to need to be so good for people to just like want to up and leave Web 2. And this is part of the reason why I say like we shouldn't be trying to like pull in Web 2 players. I really don't think so. There's a lot of people in Web 3 already. They just get it, right? They understand what crypto is. They understand what, the value of owning your own assets is. And you just need to make them come and check out your game, right? And there's however many, tens of millions of like wallet holders across all the different blockchains. So at that point, I'm just like, we should be targeting them, like hardcore targeting them. No more of this, like, hey, if we can get former Magic the Gathering players. Yes, I'm a former Magic the Gathering player. Darkest Night's a former Magic the Gathering player. But I'll tell you this, it wasn't Magic the Gathering that made us come into the game, right? That made us check out Splinterlands or any other blockchain-based game. It was crypto that made us check it out. We just happened to have played one of those traditional card games in the past, and it was like, okay, I can relate to this a little bit more. But it wasn't the card game. And this is what I'm saying. Like, I don't think any like Web 2 hardcore Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering players out there being like, how can I own my assets, right? I would love to stop paying a bunch of money and not owning anything. That nobody's thinking in that way because their entire framework for asset ownership has not been reworked yet, right? They haven't discovered Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever it is to understand like, oh, here's value, right? Here's value that is decentralized, that nobody can touch. No government, no military, no bank, nobody can touch this. It is mine, right? As long as I have the codes, or as long as I have the seed phrase, it is mine, right? Nobody has access to that. Once you wrap your head around that, then you can go into the whole, oh, I also own not just a token that has value, but a non-fungible token that could be represented as art or music or whatever it is, right? That also has value. And I own it. It's in my wallet, right? Nobody else has access to it. You can make a bunch of copies from a JPEG perspective, but I have it, right? So, and again, NFTs are a whole, JPEG, right click save as whatever. But at the end of the day, there are people who get it, and I think you should be going after the people who get it. Flaviano says, "Always fun, my friend." Yeah. It's been a rough go. I think I've gotten have I gotten at least one against you? I don't know. I know there's certain people that I just can't get win against for some reason. This was interesting too. You're starting to see a little bit more clearly the impacts of end of season rewards. Leaderboard rewards. Like essentially every 15 days or so, we get a nice little pop up here. That's just, in my opinion, slowing down our stuff. Blockchain Power says, today's the first time I'm purposefully not watching a Splinterlands live stream in years. Must be time to buy SPL assets then. Hey man, listen to your gut. There's a lot of zig when others are zagging, right? Buy when people are greedy. Sorry. Buy when people are fearful. Sell when they're greedy. My question for you is, why are you purposefully not watching the Splinterlands live stream? It's you're here, so I appreciate you. So thanks for being here. I'm not watching it because I'm planning to watch it later, and they already said that they're not going to have like new updates necessarily, and I if they're just going to have team members on, I know a lot of the team, so I'm planning to watch it, but it just didn't feel like it was either watch it or stream, and I wanted to stream and come chat with you guys. It has nothing to do with Splinterlands. Oh, interesting. Okay, you're purposefully not watching it, but it has nothing to do with Splinterlands. It is Aggie's Steam Days all over again. I don't know what this means, but can you go into it? It sounds interesting. I wasn't obviously around for the Steam fork over into Hive. I do hear from many other people how stressful of a time it was. Lots of FUD. But what does it mean, Aggie's Steam Days all over again? Oh, they're talking about Aggie Steam Days? Okay, I'm here for the same reason. Had high expectations, and it's just a biography. Okay, gotcha. He used to do a show in those days where he did a live stream with the community. Okay. So it's more like a history behind all this stuff. Oh, that'll still be interesting for me to listen to, because I don't think I've even heard that. But yeah, it's not a town hall. It's not an announcement. All right, so I just want you guys to see how much of a struggle this season has been for me. Oh, there's maintenance. I am like, I don't even know what my win rate is, but it's atrocious. Oh, it's so far below 50%. I had one good run. When they turn off Battle Helper, I had one good run at the beginning of last season. But ever since then, it's been a struggle. Oh, man, it has been a struggle. All right, down for maintenance. All right, well, we've been hanging out for a little bit over an hour. I do want to jump into a couple other things I got to take care of today. But as always, it was awesome chatting with you guys. Now, I will not be live tonight on Splinterlands TV. Unfortunately, I was I'm booked for something else already. But Kira is going to be stepping in for me. So make sure you go check out and support. For anybody who's into the NFL, I'm super excited because we got week 1 of the NFL coming up. I got a, what's that called? My fantasy football draft later today. So I'm looking forward to that this afternoon. But yeah, guys, lots of fun things still happening in other parts of the world. You know how they like the meme on Twitter or even is like, you know, if like go touch grass. So if you're frustrated and you've been waiting and whatever, like, I don't know, just take some time offline, right? Do what you got to do. Like, we'll get this stuff eventually. I do think, let me put it this way. My hope is that, you know, September is probably going to be boring, but by the time we get to October, things will start to heat up, both in like the crypto space and then hopefully in the Splinterlands side of things too. Because at that point we're in Q4, right? So, you know, if they're trying to get Rebellion out by the end of the year and Land 1.5 out soon, then hopefully by October we'll have a bunch more information on what's going on and when to expect certain things, even though they're not really giving dates. But you know, it's only 3 months left in the year, and at least here in the US, I know a lot of people check out for like the last 6 weeks of the year, because we have our Thanksgiving holiday, like at the end of November, and then December is always like a crapshoot, right? It's just the holiday season, so people are just doing whatever. A lot of people are taking some time off, so you know, whatever it ends up being, if we're gonna get cool stuff by the end of the year, my hope is that we get it in like October or November. And then we all just go enjoy the holidays. Last year sucked because it was like the layoffs, and then it's like, yeah, go enjoy the holidays, guys. but kudos to the team because they did get a bunch of stuff out. They got Land 0.5 and they got Rooney out before, like it was like mid-December, and I was like, we were all just so like jaw dropped and shocked and whatever. And they were able to deliver stuff before, you know, taking a couple weeks off for the end of the year. But yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling generally pretty good. Again, Splinterlands is going to be Splinterlands, but I'm feeling generally pretty good about crypto overall once we're past this month. And keep in mind, you know, there's only 25 days left in September, so I'm going to fill that time with a ton of football and sports and a bunch of other things, maybe some fall activities. But yeah, that's all I got. I'll try to do some more gaming later. Last question. Would you guys want to see Web 2 gaming on here at all? Whether it's me or maybe me and Darkest Night or even like Walking Keys. Because they're playing a ton of Web 2 stuff. And I've been wanting to get back into like Web 2, but I was going to do it on Twitch. I just haven't been as focused or playing around much on Twitch. But if you guys want to do that, I mean, we'll probably just be talking and BSing the entire time. So maybe we'll have some of that at some point in the future. Go Lions. All right, I'm a Bears fan, so we're in the same division. I don't know how they're going to be this year, but I hope that they can improve upon what happened last year. Gathering Magic saying Land 1.5 and Rift Watcher is gone in October. Ooh, somebody's feeling bullish. Somebody's feeling real bullish. I like it. I think that this goes all the way until December. But I'll be honest, man. If you are right and we get rid of Rift Watchers in October, that would mean that we would be selling a ton more, which means we'd be eating up a ton more of this DEC. I really think we need to burn or lock up another 3.5 billion before we can really start to see the flywheel take off. I think we need about $1 billion or so in these liquidity pools. Oh, whoops. Oh, not my positions. I think we have $1 billion or so right now. EC total liquidity. Yeah, 450 million. Yeah, it's like 800 something, 900 million or so. So if we can get down So that's a lot of DEC we need to burn or lock up. But I hope you're right, Gathering the Magic. That would be awesome if we can get to that. But all right, guys, have an awesome, amazing rest of your day. I should be back live on Thursday. If I can sneak in a live stream before then with some other random stuff, maybe we will. But at least from a Splinterlands, Web 2, Web 3, whatever, we'll try to keep the Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday schedule going. And yeah, definitely Thursday, if CREC is available, that'll be fun to see. I think I'm only guaranteed to get 2 BCX with my packs, but damn, that's not even enough for silver. But either way, it should be fun. We'll have a good time with it. Maybe I'll see how the market's pricing it and grab a third one to get a third BCX for silver. But all right, take care. Peace.